What's up, peeps? Thanks for tuning in to the Gamers at Large, episode 62. Before we get started on tonight's episode, there's something I need to address. There was an issue that happened that was unfortunate last week on last week's episode, and we had to have an individual had to be banned and reported for harassment. The Gamers at Large is not run by one person, contrary to belief. We are a group of gamers, concerned gamers, and we will stand by one another. We don't have an issue with differences in opinion, but we do ask that people are treated with respect at all times. If you feel the need to attack and harass people, I'm going to have to ask you politely to not do that here, because it will not be tolerated for any reason. It won't be tolerated. If you can't do that, you will be banned from commenting on these videos, and you will be reported for harassment. At some point in time, this type of behavior has to stop, and collectively, we decided that this behavior will not be tolerated at any point in our comment section. We don't mind, shooting the breeze with our subscribers and with random people that are coming to our channel. However, uh, you need to have respect. You need to be respectful towards others, and that's just the bottom line. So, uh, unfortunately, we had to have somebody that had to be removed after last week, and it was unfortunate, but it had to be done. But enough of that. On to tonight. Tonight we have with us Good Shepherd. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, good people? It's the Good Shepherd. We're here to talk the good things about life and gaming. And just to stand by, Jay, as a member of the Gamers at Large, we're trying to promote a positive community. We don't mind having discussions, debates, even minor arguments, but we're not trying to disrespect each other. We're just trying to have a good time. So I stand by his statement, and I'm sure the rest of the Gamers at Large do as well. Either way, game on, peoples. Let's do this.
All right, and we also have Mr. Red Fox. How you doing, man?
Hello, I don't have anything clever or cool to say, no cool taglines. I'm just here to have fun and talk about gaming and games.
All right, and we also have Miss K. How you doing today, Miss K?
I'm doing pretty good. Glad to join a group, an awesome group of gamers, and I want to piggyback off of what you said about everybody respecting each other in this community, and that's and the lack thereof. So, if you're going to be disrespectful, no, we will not tolerate it. So, but on to to the positivity in tonight's podcast. I'm excited to be here. So,
Thank you for joining. So, first off, tonight, what we're going to be talking about.
Fantasy life.
I would, but we got to say that for the review episode. That's going to be next week. We're going to be talking opinions, and for some reason, why people seem to be so against differing opinions. Why do you act like they want to have a hive mind for some reason? You see it a lot of times. Somebody sees something, they want to push a movement or whatever, and people, like I said, people have differing opinions. It's normal. It's good to have differing opinions because that means you're an individual. So you have a difference of opinion, but instead of people, actually being okay with that, you start to see people start attacking them for having difference of opinion, and I don't understand that. So I want to get you guys' idea on why people would do that, and what things can we do when we catch ourselves, because I'm pretty sure I done probably caught myself doing that a couple times as well. What can we do to stop, breathe, and be okay? All right, I understand where you're coming from. So I want to start this one off with Red Fox.
Oh, put me on the spot like that.
Yes.
Let's see. I will readily admit I've fallen into this crevice many times, but I am human. The only thing you can really do is, well, there's two things you can do. Well, no, there's more than that. I'll just do three. You can either shut down and just not really, just shut down and leave the group and just go find another group that is just like you and just a sea of stagnation and sameness. You can do the second thing and argue against those people and then turn it into an even bigger thing because people don't like to have their views challenged. Or you could try and go the role of positivity. even if you agree or disagree with that person, you can try and say, well, I can't control what that person's going to do, but here's what I'm going to do, and try and keep it positive positive and not negative, and that's what I've been trying to do as of late, and I feel a lot better because of it. It's much better to be happy and try and make things spin things positively than to get all negative and say, well, that your opinion's wrong, you're stupid, what's wrong with you? Because you're only putting worry and strain on yourself, even if it's something minor like talking about a game or a comic or a movie. It's much easier to try and look at things from a different slant.
Okay, that makes sense. Ms. K?
My take is to remain positive, and that's very hard to do. Believe it or not, you wouldn't think that Miss K has a temper. Believe it or not, and a bad one. So I try to stay positive in everything that I do, and that's an everyday task, including gaming. How I feel about gaming is that I'm here to have fun. I'm here to take the stress off. I'm here to enjoy my peers and my friends. If I can't laugh and have a good time, then why am I gaming? So that's my take on it. Just stay positive, take the high road, be the bigger person. It's an everyday task, trust me, because people will try you. But, even though they may, regardless as to whether they try you or not, you still have to be positive in your endeavors. And when you do that, you will attract that to your, to your channel and to you as a person. And that's how I go about it.
Good point. That's a very good point. Shep.
Well, you see, I heard you. Relax. My viewpoint is simply this, and I said it in one of my Google Plus comments earlier today, talking to somebody else. Gaming is a wonderful hobby, but it's optional.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't have that option. We're kind of spoiled.
Yeah.
So, we need to appreciate what we have and enjoy it. This is a wonderful outlet to get your stress out. The pointless arguments I find unnecessary. When it comes to gaming, at least. Nothing wrong with having a discussion or a debate. I'm for that all day. Everybody knows I love to talk and I love to go over topics. But there's a difference between going over a topic and giving your viewpoints and just downright being mean and nasty to each other. I'm not with that. That's just my viewpoint. We're here to have fun. It's a way for us to get our stress relieved, because a lot of us are either stressed because they're in school, college, whatever, or some of us are just day-to-day workers trying to get by for whatever reasons. Whether you're owner of a business or working for a business or a service or whatever, this is our outlet to relax and enjoy ourselves. So why the heck are we pissing each other off and arguing? It's stupid. That's my viewpoint.
Right.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback on all that. Because now I'm an adult. I'm older now, and I'm an adult. And working, 40 hours a week, having adult responsibilities, it's nice to have something that you can come and just lose yourself in for a couple hours a day. Because I can't game like I used to. I would give anything to go back to the days I could put in an 10-hour session. Most times I can't.
Those were the days.
Sorry, I cannot. I want to so bad, but I can't because adult issues. So when you come and you try to when you're trying to read up on something, or you're asking your peers a question, and all of a sudden you got 4 or 5 other people just bombarding you with like nonsense that really doesn't make any sense just because you're playing a certain console or you're playing a certain game, and that person doesn't like it, but for some reason the world has to revolve around them. And I'm just like, dude, and then what kills me about it is they're my age or older. And I'm like, bruh, do you not realize that we in our 30s? We ain't supposed to be acting like this, man. But, and Ms. K, you got a point. You have to keep it positive. It's not easy. It's really not easy. But you're right that it's a constant struggle, but it can be done. It can.
Yeah.
You just have to surround yourself with the right people. So
Mhm.
I I do agree on that. So hopefully we've shed some light on that. Going into our second topic, it's East versus West, a matter of perspective. A lot of when I started gaming, it was Sega and Nintendo. Those were the two big companies. They're both Japanese.
Right.
So we got a lot of RPGs, side-scrolling beat 'em ups, platformers, stuff like that. But they all had a lot of those games had the anime type flair to it or whatever. Of course, gaming has evolved since the late '80s, '90s, and early 2000s, and with it, some people's perspectives have evolved as well. One of the games that I love from last year is Bayonetta. I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of Bayonetta, and actually the original Devil May Cry series that it wasn't called Platinum back then, but I forgot what they were called. But I think it was Clover back then. Anyway, it was Kamiya, Hideki Kamiya. I'm a big fan of those two games because it dealt with a lot of action. It was fast paced. It was easy to get into. It was one of those games that was easy to pick up, hard to master,
Right.
and I enjoyed those games. But when I start talking to them with other people, I start and stuff that I wasn't even thinking about because number one, like I said, I'm an adult, so I'm not seeing it the same way. Um, I got called sexist because I commented that I'm enjoying playing Bayonetta. I'm like, how does that work? And then when I told the person that called me that, I'm like, you do realize a woman actually designed Bayonetta,
Right.
which I got promptly told that that's not true, which actually is true. So I'm sitting here wondering, like, do people is the perspective off with people as opposed to like the East versus the West, and is that why there's like this big divide, say like with people?
Permission to interject.
Yeah, what's up?
Um, I see this a lot. I don't know if I'm using the term properly, but it seems to be argument from ignorance. Like people just come up with arguments that have no base. They feel a certain way, then they look for people that agree with them, and then they argue from there. That's like the people sourcing, like the whole Wii U thing where they're sourcing the same material again and again from a person who never even figured it out, and they're using that as legit source.
Oh, like that? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And don't even get me started on SJW. That's what you're starting to touch on.
yeah.
I'm trying to stay away from that topic. If you really want to go that deep, let's get Jamie in here and he can destroy all of that.
Yeah, we're not gonna get that. We don't have enough.
Listen.
We don't have enough time to get that deep.
Alright,
It's like
sorry.
a full 5 hours of podcast session, so
Yeah.
we're not gonna get that deep. But it was just I find it odd. And is it basically a generational thing? Do you think it's because you're like maybe because we're older and the younger generation didn't have what we had growing up with it?
Yeah, I believe it is a generational thing, actually, because when I first came on, actually, well, I've been gaming for a while, but when I actually started my YouTube channel, it was just a whole different era. It was a whole different, it was a totally different generation back from when I started my gaming channel as to what it is now. It's a disconnect for some reason. I guess it's an age thing, because we are older and we know the beginning stages of gaming as to where these new people are coming in. They don't really, I don't think they really grasp the whole culture. They're not getting the whole package, so to speak. So I think it's an age gap, I think.
Okay. That and the fact that
Um,
they didn't have boss arcades like we did.
Exactly.
well, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I was
Oh, the good old days. Why do you have to bring up the arcades, man? Come on.
I was in the tail end of the arcades, so they were starting to get kind of seedy back in those times. Like the closest arcade to us was the one that was near our barber shop, but the entire strip mall where it was like really bad for drugs, and the arcade was where they'd sell them.
Wow.
So it was
Oh.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was it was that. Remember, like when arcades really started going down and like they started getting really seedy. That's when we had arcades. So it was kind of dangerous, but we still went anyway. I mean,
Bro, I used
I
to
played a lot of
travel anywhere
wrestling.
from a half an hour to hour plus just to get to the
Just to get
arcade.
to. Mhm.
Yeah. It's basically it's just like anything else. If you don't know the history of something,
Right.
then you don't appreciate it. It's like gamers now don't appreciate what we took for granted, and now that we've seen like how things have changed in some ways for the better, but in some ways not so much for the better.
Right.
We remember those. I mean, in younger gamers, they look at us and they say, "Oh, you're the old guy talking about back in the good old days." Well, not really. We're not the older people saying back in the good old days. It's just we know that objectively, in some ways, things were better, and we
Mhm.
lament that. I'm going to use a very current example. Star Wars Battlefront is going to be heavily marketed by EA over the next 6 months, 3, 4, 5 months, till it comes in November. And I mean, they've released. People have probably seen it circulating around the internet, where they show what you got in the first two Battlefront games on the PS2 and GameCube, and I think on the Xbox One. The original Xbox. And and then they show what you're getting in the new Battlefront, which is significantly less than what we got 2 gens ago. And
Right.
I mean that's not really all that long ago, but I mean in terms of gaming, that's quite a long time. And yet you would think with the leaps in technology and how some things have become cheaper to create, you would be getting more content for the amount you're paying, but it's the opposite. And that is a problem. And I guess the disconnect comes from older gamers like us saying that's not right, and then younger gamers accepting this as the status quo. And we're like, you guys are getting ripped off.
Right.
Stop accepting this. Stop accepting this. It's only going to get worse if you continue to accept it.
Yeah,
True.
that is very true, actually.
Yeah.
That's yeah. The way the way you described it was perfect. I mean, when I think about it, like we got complete games, and I'm sorry, but this is one of the things that I hated about 7th Gen was the onslaught of DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mhm.
actually, technically, the games are complete. It's just blocked off till you pay the season pass for it to be unlocked.
Basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as a matter of fact, that leads us into our next topic, actually.
Segues nicely.
Segues nicely. DLC versus bad DLC, and what constitutes good DLC in your opinion? Shep, I want to start this one off with you.
Why you gotta put a brother on the spot, man? All
We
right.
ain't doing that. We ain't doing this. Go on in.
Well, see, this sucks because then it makes me come off like a Nintendo fanboy. But the Mario Kart DLC is excellent.
Yeah.
I got mixed feelings about Hyrule Warriors DLC, but it's pretty darn good. Um, I don't know how good the Call of Duty 2 Season Pass truly is, but I dabbled in it. It seemed like a sort of good deal. The only problem I have with that is it seems like most of the stuff was already on the disc.
Right.
That's where I have the mixed feelings. Like, for the stuff you get, it's a great deal. Problem is, from what I can tell, most of it's still on the disc, so why am I paying for it?
Right.
So, DLC done right, sadly, currently, from my viewpoint, Nintendo does it best.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's just straight into the point.
Yep.
okay. So, Miss K, let me ask you. So, do you think like the game should be like completely finished and then they go and say, okay, this is what we had to cut out originally, but we had a chance to go back and polish it?
That may be okay, but I don't think they need to charge for all the DLC. You know, like
Okay.
stuff that should have been in there in the first place. Make
Mhm.
some of it free. You know, that way we won't feel as bad. You know, as gamers. And far as the way I feel about it, to me, Nintendo does the best DLC because Mario Kart 8, that DLC that they added on, it just gave me another experience. Period.
True.
And everybody pretty much knows that. You know, my favorite genre is shooters. That's my favorite genre of gaming. But I very seldom, I haven't even purchased the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare DLC. Let's just say that. I just refuse to buy it, you know, so I
That
just
makes-
feel like, you know, Nintendo is doing a better job with the DLC. You know, it's affordable, it's fun, and it's right in sync with the game. If everybody could take note from that and do their DLC like that, then maybe gamers won't mind. you know. But until they do it right, I'm not buying. I'm not gonna buy a lot of DLC, if any at all.
Yeah, and that's one thing I will say that. I mean, look, the what they did with the Mario Kart was they made it extremely cheap
Right.
and gave you a lot of stuff too,
Mhm.
and they let you know what it was going to be
Right.
ahead of time, so you knew what you were getting. If you didn't want to get it, you ain't have to get it, but they let you know what it's going to be, and if you bought, they even gave you a discount if you bought both packs at the same time.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to beat that.
True. Exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, not to interject. Personally, I don't mind spending a lot of money.
Right.
However, it has to be worth the money spent.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's my whole thing. If they want to charge me $50 DLC, it better be a whole brand new spanking game, like a sequel unofficially. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if say the original, let's use Mario Kart because it's easier to quantify that. Say it's like 16 tracks,
Right.
and you pay $50. If I'm paying $50, I want another 16 tracks.
Mhm.
I want a whole new set of characters.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't mind spending the money, but
Right.
as a gamer, as a consumer, I'll pay money, but I better get my value.
True.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the
You
value
bunch,
has to be there.
you
That's it.
guys sound like a bunch of Nintendo fanboys. I'm joking. I'm being facetious. I agree with you guys that Nintendo, thus far, I got my eye on you guys. I've got my eye on you.
I ain't
Mhm.
gonna lie to you,
Have
I'm
been
worried. Keep a
have they
sharp
been?
eye on them.
I mean, thus far they've been pretty good with the DLC. But I'm gonna go with another example because everyone keeps on saying Mario Kart. Um, this is a little bit old school, but I liked how they handled DLC back in the day for the a lot of the first person shooters.
Yeah.
Like your Quakes and your Duke
Mhm.
Nukems and stuff like that. Like a lot of it was free. They were just
Mhm.
mods that you would download. But for the official stuff, I mean, it would literally be like you could either pay like $5 or $10 for literally 50% more game,
Right.
or 50. Well, I won't say that much. It was like 30 to 50% more game for one pack, or you could wait until wait a year or 6 months to a year, and you could get the gold edition or the complete edition, and you get everything. I mean, you get all the DLC for a little bit less than the full price game when it first came out.
Right.
That's how you do DLC. But
Mhm.
I mean, now it's not even DLC so much. It's people releasing games that they know are broken.
Right.
They know these games are not in a condition to really be played by the masses, and yet they put it out there on the promise. Well, I can fix it later. I mean, if you were in school, okay, and you turned in a research paper that was filled with errors and half
Mhm.
finished, you would get an F.
Right.
Your teacher's not going to be like, well, I mean, occasionally you'd have the type of teacher or professor or whomever who might say, give it back, deduct 10 points from your total score, and say, if you get it back to me by the end of the week, we can work it out. But generally speaking, you're not going to have that guy or woman, that professor or teacher. You're going to have the person to be like, oh, what is this shit, F? So I find it hilarious that people don't seem to that people don't hold. I mean, people like to make an exception for gaming, but gaming is a product just like any other product. And if someone gives me, I mean, you wouldn't want someone to bring out a dish that's halfway finished.
Right.
Then why would you accept a halfway finished game?
That's it.
That is true. That is very true. Yeah, yeah, the DLC thing, I'm starting to believe that it actually does come down to the individual in and of themselves.
Mhm.
Because, like you said, Shep, it comes down to value, whether you see the value in it or not. You know, if it's a good value to that particular individual, then yeah, by all means. I mean, they gonna get it because they see the value in it. Um, Me personally, I'm very careful about DLC because I got burned on the whole Asura's Wrath, and that was like one of my favorite games last gen. Was Asura's
Yeah.
Wrath on the 360,
Yeah.
and
Funny.
Capcom screwed me over because I'm thinking I beat the game and they sold me the end in the season pass.
Wow.
That pissed me off.
Yeah.
Um, that was just, to me, if you needed more time to finish the game, then damn it, just freaking just push it back and finish the game. Don't sell me the end, because I'm thinking, because the way they set it up originally, you thought it was going to be a sequel. The way they ended it originally before they did the season pass, so that had me thinking. I'm like, oh, cool. They setting this up for a sequel. Yeah, that won't happen again. So I'm very, very, very careful about what DLC I get. I try to find out as much information as I can, and if I was to give anybody any advice, I would suggest they do the same thing. Because
Right.
it all comes down to the value that you perceive that's good value for that game for you. Because once again, you're going to be the person playing it. So
The
that's how
whole
I
thing
feel about
is,
that.
yeah, the whole thing is if you spend money, do the diligence. The only problem is everybody's paid off or so opinionated, it's hard to get a good review. A lot of people tend to either be full of opinions or they're paid off. Because, like, here's a good example of a mixed value DLC. Like, everybody knows I'm into fantasy life. um, the Origin Island DLC is a mixed bag of nuts. It's great, but if you really look at it, it kind of looks like it should have been in the game in the first place. Like,
Mhm.
if you look at I don't want to give any spoilers, but the way the main game ended without the DLC is kind of weird.
Mm.
It's like the DLC was meant to be the actual finish to the game. So,
Yeah.
and honestly, when I did the download was not that large. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think most of the DLC was already in the cart. But then I guess that makes sense since technically they're gonna make the sequel a friggin' mobile game, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But that right there was kind of like, all right, they've been corrupted.
Yeah.
Capcom, anyone?
Uh, well, I mean, I agree with you that the Origin Island DLC feels more like after game content. Like once you beat like an RPG and you've done the main story, they're like you're over leveled for most of the normal content. So you need something that's a challenge after that. It's because you have this ultra powerful character that you built
Right.
up. You got to do something with it. And that's what it feels like. That being said,
Don't get
even
me
though that
wrong, I'd buy it twice over. I'm just saying.
no, I understand what you're saying. I'm saying that it was made, even though that game was published by Nintendo and the IP is owned by Nintendo, that game was made by Level 5.
Mhm.
And Level 5, I mean, you've seen what they've been doing with Yokai Watch and what they did with the second Fantasy Life game. Well, no, Nintendo published it. The second Fantasy Life game. I mean, they're trying to make moves. They need to make that money. So, they're going to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, that's basically what it is. I mean, a lot of people, and I hate to have to be like this, but my major in my undergrad major was actually in business with an emphasis in IS. So
Mhm.
I actually had to take a couple of courses in business management and strategic management, and actually, a lot of people don't understand that yes, the companies do have to uh, have to have a good relationship with their consumers, but the other people that a corporation is answering to
Mhm.
is the board and the shareholders, and the board and the shareholders don't give a damn about you half the time. They just don't.
That's true. They're all about the money and the
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
They
The whole
want.
thing is the company needs to survive. They need to make
Yeah.
money. Period.
Right.
Side
Yeah.
chat, by the way.
I mean, and that's why a company like I mean, I don't want to sound like a Nintendo fanboy, but you see a company like Nintendo where the controlling stock of the company is held by the company itself, so they can kind of in some ways blow off when investors say we need to go into gambling. It's like, yeah, get out of my face. so when
But
you
even then, they can't completely.
no, but they have a little bit more leverage to be able to. So when people see people like Phil Spencer and Shuhei Yoshida and these people and the people in charge of EA, I forget who it is now, or Bobby Kotick, these people, Yves Gimmel, you see these people and you're like, you might not like what they're doing, but really, I mean, they're just a figurehead. The people
Right.
behind them with the popsicle stick, making them do what they got to do, is those are the people you got to be worried about.
Yeah.
Right.
because it's about profits and like
Mhm.
it's about their bottom line. If they're not getting a return on their investment, you best believe some change is going to be made.
Yep.
And I think a
Yep.
lot of gamers don't understand that from that standpoint. That's why you have to be careful when you start talking about business.
Right.
You can't just talk about some aspects of business, but then don't talk about the other ones. And that's just a little piece of advice for people that love to spout sales numbers and all this. You might want to pull back on that because sometimes you're not getting the full picture, and that's the issue that you'll have with people when somebody tries to be like, okay, look, it doesn't actually work like that. That's why, because the company themselves, the corporation itself, has to adhere to that board and that
Uh,
those shareholders,
Right.
because that's who is pumping money into them.
Yep.
Well,
yeah,
major
like
money into them.
Oh yeah.
exactly, and that's the whole thing. Like people don't look at the fact. At the end of the day, as much as they're providing entertainment to us, they need to sustain their company.
Yeah,
Right.
So you got to look at sales, profit. If you, the whole thing is this: if you want to talk about this topic, at least research. Like when you start saying sales numbers and blah 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 blah. Okay, if you're gonna look at sales numbers, you got to look at beyond that. Because so what? If they sold millions, if they're selling millions at a loss, guess what?
yeah.
They're losing millions.
Right.
So my
I
whole
mean,
thing is
perfect
this:
example.
go ahead.
Yeah, my bad. But the perfect example was Bayonetta.
Mhm.
That was a perfect example. I mean, here you have people who love the game that played it on this original console that it came out on, but if you bought the game used or you didn't pay that new price, they didn't have any kind of justification. Sony and Microsoft had no justification for them going for that sequel. That's why they blew them off.
Yep.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
mean, that's where that comes in. So that you have to think about that before when you start talking about business practices and some of the business practices and some of the sales stuff. You have to add that in there because it is important looking at it from that angle.
Right.
Well, if you're gonna go that route, sorry, that's something we might have to address in a future podcast
Yeah.
about used games. Because the
Mhm.
whole thing is, there's nothing wrong with buying used games to some extent. But you have to look at it like this. If you're a gamer and you love playing games, just be aware that if you're buying a game that you like used, you're affecting the company that of the game that you're buying. Because guess what? They're not getting a dime. So you have to factor that in. You're like, oh, I made a great deal on this game, but guess what? If everybody buys that game used, that company might go out of business in a couple of years
Mhm.
because you're not buying the game that you like new. I get you want to save money, but you have to be aware of what your actions cause.
Yeah.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gaming is expensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trust me. So if you're broke, don't get into it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because
Pretty
it's
much.
expensive.
Or I mean, not even that. Be judicious in how you game. For example,
Right.
if you don't want to spend a huge sum of money on gaming, go with portable gaming.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like on your phone. I mean, look,
Yeah.
Vita, 3DS.
3DS.
Heck, you can
Mhm.
even, if you really want to go retro, go and get a DS. That game
That's
has a
it.
huge library, and they're cheap.
Yes. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So those are some good alternatives. So now let's bring it up to some fun. So y'all know if you follow the Game Cafe YouTube channel, from time to time I like to do what I call the Michael Bay I don't give a cuff moment of the last few weeks, where the developer has straight up shown that they got balls and don't really care what you think about it. So to start this one off, there are actually a few of them that happened within like the last 2.5 weeks that were just it was wrong, but at some point I stopped and started laughing. Um, and one of them is actually from Nintendo. Your boy for Splatoon, Nagami. Why did he make that statement about voice chat? Bruh, sometimes you might want to chill on what kind of answers the interviewer is, what some kind of questions the interviewer is asking you, man. Because you sparked off you pissed a whole bunch of people off with that one. So he kind of had like a little arrogant. I can't remember it word for word, but it was on. I found the article in Wii U Daily and Nintendo Life where basically he outlined the reason why voice chat wasn't in the game, and it was basically due off his own experience. And I'm like, ooh, that's gonna leave a mark with some people. And sure enough, by the time I got home, it was like 30 videos. And I was just like, wow, bro. So, yeah, that was my personal Michael Bay. I'm going to give a couple more because he pretty much, you know.
That reminds me.
Yeah.
We got to talk about video gamers in general because I think some of us are a little too sensitive. I'm just saying.
Oh God, yes.
Oh, yeah, dude, yeah.
I have never seen so many. I'll keep it real with y'all, and if I hurt y'all feelings right now, I'm sorry. Y'all a bunch of friggin' crybabies. Y'all get your feelings hurt way too easy. Seriously.
I am
people
offended by
I
that
see people
statement.
cry at the
sir.
drop of a dime. Oh my goodness.
I am offended by that statement, sir. That is offensive to me.
I would say grow up here, but that's.
You know I'm joking, right?
I know you are.
Okay,
But I think Miss K is more sturdy than some individuals I've come across.
okay. All right. Well, Fox, what about you? Do you got one from a developer
Yes.
that you saw?
And I'm going to say the easy one because I'm just surprised and shocked and awed, and that is obviously Konami. Oh my God, those people. They just, they just don't care. I mean, I know they're trying to move into gambling, but I mean, like all of those big gaming companies we grew up with as, people who started gaming a long time ago. Like we remembered the Inafunes, the Kojimas, that guy from Tecmo Koei with Ninja Gaiden. They have like their residential. Oh my God, it's this guy's game. Why would you fire your that guy? I mean, you don't see Nintendo going, yeah, man, get out of here, Miyamoto. You, Sakurai, here's a box. Get out of here. Get out of here.
But then,
2020, Konami will not be a
Then they try to hide it. Yeah,
Yeah.
then they try to hide it. That's the thing. Get me. Like, how are you gonna hide something like that?
after you close his building down in San Francisco.
That's the thing that got me. I'm like, how are you gonna hide from this?
Yeah.
Well, he's now contracted by Konami, so
Yeah.
They had to do that quick.
Because
That was a
Konami
good one. That
fans, those Metal Gear fans, they love Metal Gear, and now you've hurt their Metal Gear. You asking for it now, son. Now you gotta suffer.
Basically, I'm gonna love to see what the return's gonna be on that one because I know some people were pissed about that one as well when they heard that stuff. Miss K, you got one?
I don't have one.
You don't?
I'm pretty sure I will. I'm pretty sure I will just scanning, the internet. I'm pretty sure I'll come across something, but I haven't really haven't seen anything yet.
Okay, cool. What about you, Shep? Shep. I guess Shep had to take care of something right quick. There is one other one.
can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, we can hear you now. Okay.
Oh, my bad. I tend to mute my my headset randomly because I don't have any background noise. But anyways,
Yeah.
I don't really have I don't give a cuff moment per se, but I have to, in a way, give props to Dina from the Mighty Number 9 because she said a whole bunch of crap for the longest while, and now that she's officially left her position as a community manager, she's all like, she act like she never said half the crap she did. She's all like neutral, like, I loved working as community manager, you guys are the greatest, when in reality thousands of fans are like, woman, I hope you play in traffic and lose. I'm just being real honest. If you Google Dina Mighty Number 9, you'll see a whole bunch of messed up stuff.
Wow.
Wow.
Uh,
So
Jesus.
it's kind of a I don't give a cuff moment, but not really.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, we kind of saw that coming because the guy got his girlfriend hired, and I've said this to numerous friends of mine. I'm like, look, you do not want to work with you don't want you don't poo-poo where you eat, okay? And when you have relationships in your workplace,
Right.
that's a little awkward.
Close for comfort. Yeah.
Well, she's still part of the community. She just doesn't have the power she used to have a week ago.
Okay. Well, here's another one that that I know a lot of people, and we actually just had IGN make their own video about it.
Hypocrite.
Yeah. And that was the Arkham Knight DLC.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
Now, a season pass is 6 months and $40.
Oh.
And you're like, okay, the game is $59 if you don't get the that premium edition, which is actually, I forgot what the premium edition is, but it comes at like $89 or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're gonna charge not for like a full year season pass or anything like that. It's a 6 month season pass, $40. You don't even say what's in the season pass. It's vague as I don't know what. It's like, yeah, we got some characters, we don't know how many. Yeah, we got some skins, we don't know how many. Yeah, we got a couple of challenge maps, maybe. And it's like, who at WB signed off on that?
They sound like pimps. They're like, hey, you
That's-
don't know
that's a
what's in it
perfect
when I feel
I
like
don't
telling
give a
you.
cuff moment.
Okay?
Yeah, they're like, we might give you some.
Yeah,
Maybe.
they
Just pay us
they
money
got a
first, though.
toothpick. They got a toothpick in their mouth. They pull out. Look, I'll tell you when you need to know. Just give me the money, and it will take care of you. I mean, go ask those Arkham Origins. Isn't Arkham Origins the game where like there was a whole for the Wii U? There was a whole bit of DLC that people paid for with the season pass, and we never got. If you had the Arkham Origins. I was like, you know, and here's the thing. Here's what people don't understand. When someone kind of mistreats Nintendo people, they're coming for you soon. They experiment on us. They're coming for you soon. It's not isolated incident.
I gotta give them props. They have a lot of fortitude for what they're doing. I don't know if I don't think it's a good idea, but I gotta give them props. They're bolder than and dumber than I thought.
Well, that's the thing. Like half of the thing with that whole DLC, if people would have, because it's not like this is the first time they've done this. This is not the first time WB has signed off on vaguely or thinly veiled DLC stuff. This ain't the first time. This is like the second or third. So it's obvious people have been buying it because they wouldn't keep doing it if people weren't purchasing it. So
Modern day gamers are stupid.
yeah. But yeah, I found it to be funny because of all people, IGN, of all people, were the ones putting them on blast for it. And I'm like,
I freaking love it. That means WB didn't pay him this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the check bounced.
Yeah.
The check bounced.
The check bounced.
Yeah, so I mean, I just that's just one of those ones where I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, dude, I don't know who at WB has the authority to like sign off on stuff like that, but they might have should have waited a couple weeks just to tell people like, look, yeah, it's $40, but they should have gave an itemized list of this is what all you get, because thinly vague list of what you may get that's not certain that's not good when you're telling people to basically give you 2/3 of the cost of the game in the season pass. It's just
basically $100 game if you get the season pass. $100 and you may or may not get all of this content.
Yeah. It's not set. I mean, I don't know if it's set.
Wait, hold on.
Sure by now they probably set out a list of everything, but like this morning it wasn't. It was vague as I don't know what.
Why are y'all complaining? Just give the money and play the game. Asking all these questions. Just run that, man. Come on.
You sound like you work at WB, dude.
Like, don't be asking all them questions. Just play the game.
Stop asking all them questions. Just give me the money.
Like they in the
I'm telling you,
back.
man, they are like pimps. I'm telling you, that's some hardcore stuff right there. Just give me the money and play the game. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
So what if you're paying almost the full price again, and you have no clue what you're getting? Just give me the money.
Yep.
It's gaming, son. Gaming's an expensive hobby. We
That's
need
all I
that
have
money.
for, that's all I got for the I don't give a cuff moment. I just thought those were like hilarious. I don't know what in hindsight. I mean, I know they're not. It's probably not funny for people at the time, but when you look at it after the fact that you had a little while to calm down from it is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny some of the stuff that happens. All right.
Thanks,
So the last
Obama.
thing we got before Q&A is month of May releases. And we're gonna start things off with the PS4. I did not know that was coming out. Okay, let's see. On PS4 for this month, May 5th, you got Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. Okay. May 12th is Project Cars. Also on May 12th is Touring and Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD remake. Did they do that on PS3?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty.
PlayStation what? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Destiny House of Wolves comes out. I guess that drops on the 19th. So does Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt. And Ultra Street Fighter 4 on the 26th.
Wait, hold on. Stop. Hold on. Quick question.
Uh-huh.
With the Wolfenstein, is there extra content?
Let me look and see. I don't think there is.
Because one of the games, I plan on picking up a Xbox One in August, and one of the games I'm picking up for the Xbox One is Wolfenstein. But I'm more of a PlayStation fan than an Xbox fan, so I'm still getting both systems regardless. But I'm just saying, it's more bang for your buck. I'm looking at what the better deal is.
Right.
I don't see it on here. It doesn't say on here. It just like gives a generic description of shooters, so it doesn't say what all is coming with it.
I have 3 more months to find out. No worries. Continue. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, but the only thing I'm looking forward to out of this is like I've been looking at some screens of Project Cars. It looks kind of interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm more mad. I like Project Cars. I'm more mad that this was meant to be Wii U. Nintendo fans funded this game initially,
yeah.
Right.
so it's like almost like Rayman Legends all over again to some degree. Because
Yeah.
they're pushing back the Wii U version, and I'm like, really, dudes, really?
Wow.
Because
It's like this tale of a Nintendo fan.
we funded it. We funded this game, and we're getting the copy last. It better be
Yeah.
the best version.
It better be.
I better have a
You're a
boost.
Nintendo fan. Get over it, fools.
Mr. T.
What up?
Hey there, fools. How y'all doing?
All
Doing all
right.
right. We're just hitting up the PlayStation releases.
Y'all started early on Brother tonight. What's up?
No, we started at 7, dude.
That's
Oh,
why.
it was 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's usually 8. I guess you didn't get the memo. We switched early today.
Nah, I was
Sorry,
watching
bro.
Avengers. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm jealous. I'll leave it at that.
all right. For Microsoft, I hate to have to say this, but it is the exact same list.
It is, yeah.
I kid you not. It's the exact same list. So
Well, then we don't need to talk about it.
Dude, that's not cool. Say it anyway.
Hey.
Y'all
that's the
saw
exact
that.
same list,
That's what
exact
you
same
get for
date.
being a
sound like a-
third-party
you
console. That's not
Sound
my
like a
problem.
hater. Just because you say content don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Guys, it means
Life's
they're
not
twins. They're identical twins.
We went from the HD twins to the HDer twins, man.
Congratulations, 8th gen of consoles. You've just given birth to identical twins.
No. You see, here's the difference. Halo is only for Xbox. Killer Instinct's only for Xbox. Street Fighter's only for PlayStation. See, there's a difference.
Well, yeah. But if you looking at the list I'm looking at, you would.
This guy is also for PlayStation only, which is sadly why I have to get both systems.
Yeah.
I need my Killer Instinct, I need my Halo, I need my Disgaea, and I need my Super Street Fighter Ultra Mega Super Hyper Edition.
You got one.
Gaming is an expensive hobby.
It is.
Let's see. Wii U. They got something called High Strangeness on May 6th. I don't know what that is. Adventures of Lolo on the 15th, and Splatoon on the 29th.
Mm.
So they also got something called Adventures of Pip, but I think that's the indie game. Adventures
Indie
of
game,
Pip.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That game looks like a lot of fun.
they don't have a date for it. They just say May 2015. So
Adventures of Lolo. That's a what? SNES title or NES?
I think it's SNES.
I know it's Virtual Console. So
Yeah, it's a HAL Laboratory.
okay, yeah.
There's also another one that I read, and I don't know if this is true or not, but The Legend of K from PS2 era
Mhm.
actually is getting a remaster for PS4 and Wii U.
Miss K, you got a game?
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
You got a game? I didn't know that.
Mm-mm.
It was a stupid joke. It was Legend of
I
K.
know.
Come with it.
I
Come on.
know.
But
Wah, wah.
it has May,
Bite
but
me.
they don't have a date for it.
Wow.
So is it still May or is it did it get pushed back? I don't
Is it
know.
this early? I thought it was fall or something.
Well,
I didn't even know it was coming out yet, actually. So I
yeah.
guess sure.
The
it's
only reason I know
another
about it because I saw the thing on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
I read an article. I think it was, I don't want to say fall. I think it was like July or August. I can't remember.
Okay, all right. Well,
Yeah.
that's why I don't want to bring that one up, but yeah, we don't know on that one. Oh boy. Well, PC is all these. Well, actually, no. PC looks just like PS4. Wow.
Yeah.
What? Take it back.
The triplets, man.
I take that back.
So the HD
Okay.
triplets.
Stop doing that. You know you set this up. You're just a Nintendo fanboy trying to hate. What's wrong with you?
Actually, there is a couple of games that's not on that wasn't on the PS4 Xbox One list. One of them is Magica 2 on May 26th, and Chips Challenge 2 on May 28th, and something called Not a Hero on May 7th.
Those sound like some killer apps, son. You need
Yeah.
to pick that up on your PC. Word.
Don't be
Yeah,
hating.
so, other than that, though, it's pretty much the same list. So that's what you got to look forward to in May. And I think May is usually like a dry month anyway because of the simple fact that E3 is in June.
Is this Splatoon dropping on the 29th?
Yes,
Yeah,
Which is basically June.
Yeah.
it's basically June. Yeah.
Just pick for yourself. I'm going to be in line picking that thing up. 29th.
It's June for me because that weekend I'm gonna be in Boston for our graduation and the beer fest. Sorry.
Welcome.
Word.
Alcoholic.
Hey, it's a tradition. It's not my fault. Okay.
You a traditional alcoholic.
No. It's not my
Okay,
system.
so
Graduating
Q&A.
magna cum laude, okay?
Hmm.
Oh,
Hey,
how do you pronounce it?
It looks like we only got one question for Q&A. And this is from Tony Kaname Karan. He asks, since E3 is 1 month away, is there a plan for Nintendo to change the time schedule for their digital event now that Square Enix is doing a 12 noon 9 a.m. live conference? I don't think so. But then again, I don't know. All I know is Nintendo got a conference for a whole day, so I don't know. It depends on what day they're doing it.
Unless
have no
Bradley
idea.
Seconds involved, it doesn't really matter. I mean,
We already got rundowns
Yeah,
on
okay.
when people are showing
Well,
their stuff.
it got leaked. It got reported that Nintendo was gonna have like a day to themselves because they bought the whole one of the halls for the whole day.
Whoa.
Wow.
wait,
Bombs.
what? Are you
Bombs gonna get
serious?
dropped.
Yeah. So I don't know why, but
Oh my
that
God.
was reported like a month ago. Because
Yo,
they
yo,
did
yo,
it
yo,
and
yo,
Microsoft did it.
yo. You know
Microsoft
what's
also
happening, right?
bought one of the press conference things for like a whole day. They didn't say what day it was gonna be though. We don't know if it's Tuesday or Wednesday or Monday and Tuesday. We don't know.
You know what's about to happen, right?
Mm.
They're
What?
about to drop that Virtual Boy 2
Bombs.
in red, blue, and black. Recognize.
With Samsung offering the thing for it. Yeah. That would be awesome. That would be awesome sauce. You know, Samsung.
All jokes aside, if they really want to do it, they could make a killer Virtual Boy now with the technology they currently have. I don't think they should, but they could, and
No.
they could do it well.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I don't think they should. I'm saying they
They've
could.
already perfected glasses-free 3D technology.
Right.
There's nowhere to go.
We got a
At this
virtual
point.
board already. It's called 3DS.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
I said I don't think they should. I said they could. Listen to my words, folks.
Okay, well, that's pretty much the only other question. Sorry, Zodia, I can't answer that. I'm not gonna answer that question that you have. I'm just not gonna do that. So I said I wasn't gonna say who it was, and I'm not going to. So sorry. All right, Tony has another one. What are your thoughts on Mario Kart 8 now that the mirror and 200cc modes are now unlocked? Fools. So T, I guess he's talking to you.
It's like a whole new game.
Yep.
You know, it's like starting all over again. And I don't want to say it just unlocked. I had it unlocked for a few days now. I haven't really had a chance to play it as much as I'd like to because I've been still unpacking and stuff. But I'm about to get into it pretty soon here. So, but like I said, it's with the new tracks, the mirror mode, and obviously 200cc's, it's like a whole nother game now. So I feel like the game's kind of relaunching right now. I think it's
All
gonna
I'm
do
gonna
pretty well.
say is 200cc on Big Blue is wrong. That is trolling.
Oh man,
And
That's why I told y'all it's like Rainbow Road all over again.
do,
It's fun, but
No,
yeah.
200 cc's.
when you do a hop and you do your little trick or whatever, and you fly over the edge,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
200 cc's. Mute City.
I
Just
warned y'all, didn't
miss
I?
the
Remember
track,
the
it just-
podcast? I warned y'all.
And it nullifies fire hopping.
Yeah, it
So-
nullifies
Yeah.
quick.
does. Like, you have to change up in completely how you race. You can't, like, you have to change it which carts you use, how you race. Like, no longer I'm going for the fastest sports bike ever.
Hell no. I drive,
No.
I drive slow.
No.
I drive slow. I use brakes. I forgot there was brakes in this game.
Yeah. I think that's the problem because, like, let's be honest. Has anybody used brakes on any of the other?
No.
Pretty much
No.
never.
No.
No.
Never.
No.
Yeah.
If I can't drift it, I'm just.
I'm off the track. I'm off the track. I don't care.
But I worked my way around it. If you do it right, you could start drifting early on the turns.
You can. Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
can,
but
so you can
yeah.
still kind of sort of not use the brakes. Kind
I
of.
tried to do that on Dragon Driftway on 200cc. Yeah, that didn't work.
Dragon
No.
Driftway.
Dude, that's too many turns.
Nah, man.
Don't even waste your time. Just brake.
Yeah. That one and the Yoshi kart course from
Oh,
the Egg
God.
Cup.
What's the one that just has like curve at the curve?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I
crazy.
always drive super slow cars for those two courses. If you have to be insanely good at that game, otherwise, just pick something slow and go.
Yeah. If you don't understand, yeah, 200cc is off the chain.
Yeah, it is.
It really
Games
is
on
off the
freaking
chain.
fast forward, y'all.
Yeah. Well, let me ask y'all this, since we talking about Mario Kart. I was playing Forza the other night, right? And I was winning until I got cheated out of like my first place. I was wondering where my blue shell was. I'm like, I'm gonna mess this up and give up the wrong game. Where are my power-ups?
I know this is going to sound terrible, but every time I play Mario Kart 8, I'm just like, man, I wish Nintendo took this engine and made a Diddy Kong Racing
Yeah.
too.
Well, my nephew lectured me the other day that Mario Kart racing ain't real racing. So I mean, it's not.
Of
There's
course
no.
it's not.
Yeah, it's not real racing.
But it's coming from someone who likes playing Gran Turismo and the Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty like 24/7. No offense, Miss K.
No, that's okay.
Because I'm
It's not
I,
supposed to be.
I,
It's not supposed to be. Dude,
I'm sorry. I drove cars in Grand Theft Auto and the physics is garbage in my opinion.
Yeah.
Floaty, isn't it?
Oh God.
Yeah.
It is.
I just want to run around the city. Screw vehicles. They may look nice, but driving is garbage in that
It
game
is.
for me personally. So when my nephew told me that, I looked at him, then I walked away.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been garbage for too long. Like they should have like at least. It feels like they haven't really tried to perfect it that much since I don't know, Vice City. Like it
Right.
I
feels
mean, they make your
like
hand over fist. Why would they?
yeah, and I know that's the problem.
Yeah.
And it goes for even like walking around. I always bring this up, but like fighting people on the street, it just feels so clunky to me. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's, it should be
I'll be
better.
frank
He's
with
just
you.
a hater.
I have the game.
GTA 5 on PC is a much better experience because it can be modded. On consoles, because they have no reason to change. And they crack down on people even on PC if you put a mod to make their game better and more fun.
Wow.
So
So they really weren't playing around with that.
people might cheat on the online because we need a legendary single player game to have online, but whatever.
It's funny because like every time you get a Grand Theft Auto game, it's like it feels new for about I don't know 20 minutes, and it's like oh this is Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
You feel right back
True.
at home again.
Except GTA 4, that one was just like, this feels like GTA 2 except in 3D.
Well, we're gonna hear for this one.
Send your hate mail to Gamers at Large.
I'm not scared. Bring it on, yo. Bring
No,
it
they
on.
can send it to me. I have all the GTA games, and I've been playing them for years, but you can send it to me. Come on.
Hey, I'm carrying tires, okay? I'll throw that tire at you. What's up?
No, that's right.
Not the tire.
They don't want none of that shit. They don't want that.
Yeah. Okay, well, that looks like that does it for our episode tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, sorry I had to start early, but your boy moving, so I gotta go through all my stuff and pack up all this stuff. So I gotta get started tonight. So that being said, we're gonna do our outros and get out, so you guys can go back to doing whatever it is you're doing. Shep.
Well, hey, thanks for listening, y'all. I'm actually doing a podcast next week, Saturday on the 9th. It's called The State of Gaming Continued. We're talking about, more or less, it's a continuation of this podcast in a way. So if you care about gaming, care about just life in general, it's an interesting topic. A lot of good people is going to be in there. Check it out. Y'all have a good night.
Cool. Miss K.
It has been a pleasure to be on. Y'all have been really big supporters of my channel. I appreciate it. That's another thing I wanted to tell you. You know, every time I put something up, you guys always share it, support. I really appreciate that. It was a pleasure to be on this podcast, and I hope to be on many more.
Thank you.
Word, Miss K. Much love.
And T, since you were actually late,
Here, fools, it's Mr. T. It was fun being here for 5 minutes. But I had to get my Avengers on, like I said. I get my Avengers on. But yeah, it was.
Hate.
Check out my channel. Sometime this evening, I'll be uploading my Splatoon thoughts, and I'll be talking about the debate debacle around Splatoon. So,
Oh my God.
also, with my PAX East coverage, it'll be end of it. And as I always say, play Nintendo, fools.
all right, and Red Fox.
This is Mr. Red Fox. Once again, just play your games. Doesn't matter what other people think. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. And get splatted.
Get splattered, dude.
No. I'm doing my own. Splatted.
Oh, my fault.
You got splatted.
All right, and this is me, Jay. I don't have anything that's going to be coming up this week because, like I said, I'll be moving, so got to give me about a week and a half to make sure I get everything right in my new apartment. So I'll probably be back, say, probably a week and a half. Other than that, I will be joining Fangirl Review for a review of both Avengers and of The Flash on Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that on her channel, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.